All right, welcome into Prop 5 on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick on 5 Reasons Sports. I got David Eversole. You can find him at David W. Eversole. PrizePicks. Use the code 5, FIVE. This is not a 1-to-1 match anymore. It's a 10-to-1 match. You put down $5, they'll give you 50 more to play right away. That's how this works. You can download it from the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, or PrizePicks.com. This is our official fantasy partner, and it is legal in the state of Florida. Just set your lineup from anywhere between 2 and 4 players. But again, the key is the code 5. All right, we're going to get to some Dolphins and Colts today, 1 o'clock. No Tua. Expecting him back for the Cardinals game coming up here next week. So Miami just has to basically survive this. They got to get to 3-3. The Bills are playing the Jets today. So that means that Miami's going to get a jump on one of those teams. You get to 3-3, you could be tied for the division, or at least without the tiebreakers, or you could sort of distance yourself from the Jets. So one way or the other, Miami can make progress today. All right, David, let's get to it. Really hard to play the Dolphins these days again because you just don't know if they're going to lean into the run. But there's like 6,000 Devon A-Chain props, and then there's the Mostert props, and then we don't know if Jalen Wright's going to get opportunities because of last week. I'm inclined to stay away from their running backs and their quarterback. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, with this three-headed committee at running back, but I still think Jalen Wright's going to get a little bit of work. At least maybe 3, 4, 5 carries. I'm going to take him over this 13.5. If I was going to go for any of the Dolphins running backs, I would just probably take the lowest number on him. And Achan with looks like he's got his goblin play is at 39.5 rushing yards. That might not be a bad play, but I know you liked one of the Mostert numbers.
Yeah, I kind of like Mostert over half a touchdown. I feel like even with Jalen Wright available, that Mostert will be the guy they go to towards the goal line. I just don't know how often they're going to get there. The Colts defense is not very good, but again, the Dolphins have had a bye week to work on some things with Huntley, so maybe he comes out a little bit better. There was some progress here. Not even some of the props here, like the Mostert, the 8, the 4.5 receiving yards. I don't know. The eight rushing attempts. Like the volume stuff, I'm just not sure. But I do think they would go to him near the goal line. So that's kind of I feel like they leaned back into him last week. They had to because they didn't have A-Chain, but I think sort of remembering what they had here. I wouldn't play any of the Tyreek stuff. I know he did a lot of talking this week. I don't see it until Tua is back. 58.5 receiving yards. I remember last year where it was like he was 99.5 on a consistent basis.
Fallen there big time.
Yeah, the 7.5 receiving targets. I would be surprised. I would go under that. But honestly, the one play here I like is Jason Sanders over 1.5 field goals.
Rushing yard.
I can see that. I can see them putting the ball
over half a rushing yard.
Yeah, I think so.
I can see that.
I think because they're going to try to get the ball in his hands in other ways, so that would make some sense. So I would even I don't know if Waddle has a rushing yard up there too, but I might even look at that because they'll run so. But honestly, I'm just going to take the easy play, which to me is Jason Sanders over 1.5 field goals. He's not. I mean, people know my feelings about Jason Sanders, but I just think they're gonna have some drives that are gonna stall, and then. I think McDaniel has at least learned his lesson now that you just have to take the points. Like with this team, I think he'll take the points, and so they'll end up with a couple of shorties. Man, Waddle's season, this thing has gone bad for the Dolphins in a hurry. What would you play on their side?
On the Dolphins?
Yeah.
I like the Sanders play a lot, actually. I like the Mostert, and I might even take a chance on this Kelsey Waddle rush receiving combo. Because you got the Kelsey factor in there, so that could be something that helps you out. But no, I mean, hopefully Dolphins are going to lean on the ground. But like you said, who's going to get the bulk of the work? The backs have been pretty banged up. Obviously Achan is coming back, and then same thing with Mostert. So I'm going to probably stay away from the running backs with the Dolphins. I actually kind of like Huntley under on passing yards.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I wasn't doing anything on Huntley. I'd probably play him under on the 184.5 passing yards, and also under 20. I think he's going to be way under 27 passing attempts.
Well, I do too.
If they want to win the game, he's got to throw the ball about like 20 times.
I agree. And again, I do think that this is a game where you're looking at it. If you're McDaniel, you're like just like the New England game, just do no harm.
Live in advance.
You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Just survive in advance, do no harm, get us back to Tua. That's all. They get back to Tua 3-3. Yeah, they get back to Tua 3-3. Worst case scenario, they're a game back in the AFC East. Like, okay, then all of a sudden the season, it's like you're restarting the season, but they got to get through it. All right, on the other side, the
Colts in Indy at the right time too.
The Colts are hard to read here.
They're banged up. All the receivers are questionable today.
Right.
Obviously Jonathan Taylor's out. And
right.
The Dolphins are going to probably lock and load in terms of making Richardson beat them through the air. So, but the problem is the Dolphins' pass defense is probably the strength of their defense for sure. Even with Javon Holland probably not being in this game.
I would play Sermon under regardless. I know that Taylor's not in there, but they have done a decent job against the run. Like you said, I think they're going to load up on the run. I think they're going to load up on the run. I think they're going to make Richardson beat them. And
have to find a way to contain him out of the pocket. That's the only thing I worry about with Richardson is him break and contain. I think if he goes over any of these numbers, he's going to go over this 33.5 rushing yards.
Yeah,
and, I would smash this Goblin over 24.5. But my favorite play for him is under the 197.5 passing yards.
Yeah, I like it too. All right. Anything else that you see today? I was looking at a couple of quick plays I'll give to people here before we go. I like Kareem Hunt over again for the Chiefs. That's a play that I like today. And additionally, I like Jaden Daniels. I know it's the trendy thing right now, but I just feel like he's getting more and more and more comfortable. 239.5. I'm going to play that over as well.
Yeah, against a bad Carolina defense, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Bay is also, it's probably the most popular play on the board, so people are looking pretty heavy at that. And Derrick Henry, I mean, he's just been an absolute monster.
Yep.
So I mean, you could play it safe and take him, on the Goblin play at 69.5. But I mean, he's getting the work. I mean, just look at these numbers.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm glad I picked him a lot. I'm glad I picked him on my season-long fantasy team.
And all right, so they're going to keep the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hand, which I can't believe I'm saying that.
Exactly. All right, you're fading out just a little bit, but we want to give people all these props. We'll do it here on Twitter as well. So follow us on 5 Reasons Sports. Also follow the 5 Reasons YouTube handle as well, because we have plenty of stuff posting from there too. Have a good one, everybody.